I guess I got a match. By the way, did you know Indians, including me and you, are about to spend more than 25,000 crores on Valentines this year?
What was the most amount of money you spent on a Valentine's Day or week?
10K.
3,500.
Around 5K.
3,000 bucks. 50, 60K.
That's literally 20 times of what it was 2 decades back. See, love and relationships have been a hush-hush topic for Indians for quite a while. But Valentine's has turned into a massive consumer movement that's being driven majorly by the new India called Gen Z. So how big is India's Valentine economy? Why is India's Gen Z spending so much? And more importantly, what does this say about India's changing consumer behavior? That's exactly all of what we'll be covering in today's video. So let's start with the bigger picture. See, the entire Valentine's Day spending isn't just fueled by a single day. It's a full-blown week-long economy. Starting from February 7th, each day leading up to February 14th is designed to celebrate different aspects of love. And this is important, right? Each of these mini celebration days create their own demand that ends up driving massive spending across multiple industries throughout the week. Let me show you something interesting. If you zoom out and look at this chart, you would notice that the majority of money is being spent on jewelry, flowers, candies, and dining out. Jewelry makes up the biggest category with nearly 30% of all Valentine's Day.
Approximately, we see around 50 to 60% uptick compared to Jan, and that is concentrated in the first 14 days.
In fact, to decode this, we asked Kushagra, the founder of Saveri, to share insights.
So jewelry comes down to a thing that's more valuable in everyone's heads, even if it's a 1,500 rupee ring or if it's a 10,000 rupee gold ring. Jewelry is jewelry.
The second largest category, as you can see, is flowers, especially roses, with chocolates being the go-to gift category. Take 2023 for example. India's floral businesses on Rose Day alone were about 500 crores. And India was exporting roses left, right and center to Australia, Japan, Europe, you name it. Namak, Karnataka itself exported about 3 crore roses last year. And if you look at a business like Ferns and Petals, who is one of the market leaders in this sector, they alone sold 5 lakh roses. Blinkit sold 400 chocolates per minute. And the third category is dining out, with about 20% of spending. To give you an example, table reservations surged by 95% on Swiggy Dine Out. And all of this is happening at a time when India has one of the largest young populations in the world, with 50% of Indian population being below 25 years. That's right, Gen Z is at the center of it all. This means that more than half of the country is at an age where dating, relationships, and social experiences are a big part of the life. This age group is also spending big, right? But now that we have some good context of where the money is going, let's talk about what is actually driving this, and let's go one layer deeper. But before we get into that, see, if you've been liking this video, you love the weekly GrowthX newsletter. Every week, we dive into 3 latest topical business stories and demystify the crisp insights behind India's top businesses. And by the way, this newsletter is absolutely free, and you can subscribe to it from the link in the description. Now let's talk about what is actually driving this spending. One of the critical factors being India's dating boom. See, just 5 years ago, only 20 million Indians used to have dating apps. Today, the number has skyrocketed to 82 freaking millions, a 300% increase. India is in fact now the 5th fastest growing dating app market, with people spending on unlimited swipes and profile boost just to land their perfect match. All the best to everyone, by the way. All the new dating apps being launched constantly, India is on the track to become world's 2nd largest dating market by 2027, surpassing US with 35 million users. And this entire dating market, in fact, witnesses a huge spike during this Valentine season. Some apps report a 35% increase of dates that are arranged just the night before. So this means that dating apps don't just connect people. Dating apps open a door to drive more and more spending. Every new relationship means money spent on gifts, dining, experiences. And when the V-Day comes around, this spending goes through the roof. Now let's talk about the second driver of this economy, quick commerce. Just open your phones. You will see Zepto, Swiggy and Blinkit. You will see that all of them have revamped their app icons. And also, for the single ones watching, they have a single mode feature too. But that's a different conversation for some other day. So this means one thing clearly, that this is a big business hour for all of these brands who use quick commerce apps as a big channel. And it's no surprise, right? Quick commerce has completely changed how people shop. With packed schedule, no one is actually able to go to multiple stores, no one has the time in their busy lives, and they want stuff right at their doorstep. And what's really interesting about the Gen Z behavior on these apps is that traditional product categories don't really excite Gen Z users. Instead of shopping for specific items like perfumes or chocolates, they shop for broader use cases like gifting, partying, or intimate needs. Which is very interesting because this means that Gen Z users don't go on apps to buy a certain specific product, but they go on the apps to explore multiple brands and multiple products to solve for the desire that they want to solve for. And this has become interesting because quick commerce apps have changed the game by making the discovery of products seamless. So instead of just listing products, quick commerce apps have become smarter to now group relevant products together in a way to make the decision making easier for the users. And this shift has completely changed how brands compete.
A chocolate brand, a Mondelez, is not competing with a Ferrero Rocher anymore. A Mondelez is competing with a My Muse and a Bella Vita and Carter Linden of the world. So that is how the buying has shifted, and Gen Z largely buys use cases. They don't buy categories.
And now let's look at the data of how these quick commerce companies do. Last year, Zepto's Valentine's Day sales jumped 20-25% compared to the normal days. For Swiggy Instamart, it was a 22x surge in flower orders and 10x surge in chocolate sales. And even for Blinkit, the surge from multiple categories ranged from 3x to 20x. And all of this data just tells you one thing, that India has changed. See, a decade ago, India's middle class was focused on three things: roti, kapda, makan. Between FY13 and FY 2023, share of spending on essentials have declined, while discretionary spending on health, education, transportation, and communication has surged. Why? We can understand this better with what Aviral said in a recent episode of GrowthX Inner Circle.
You have 5 levels in Maslow's hierarchy of needs. You have the basics, then you have safety, then you have love, then you have self-actualization at the end. The US is at the self-actualization phase, where the problems that they're solving for is self-actualization related. India has just progressed from basics to safety. That's why you're starting to see an emergence of food delivery, an emergence of wealth security, which is actually investing.
Indians have already fulfilled the first 2 layers of needs, physiological and security, which opens up a new need domain of love and belonging. Valentine's Day spending is a direct reflection of India's shift from necessity-driven economy to an aspirational-driven economy. In fact, 62% of Gen Zs don't believe in splurging on Valentine's Day. They prefer keeping it simple, budget-friendly, and meaningful. And the way Gen Z spends money is super interesting. They're willing to spend money and even splurge, but only if they see real value in what they're buying. And that value often comes from how trendy or Instagrammable it is. But even though they prefer budget-friendly celebrations, Gen Z is still driving massive spending. With 38 crores of them, Gen Z is the largest generation ever to live in India. And when a population of that size spend even on small things, the number compounds fast. They already drive 43% all consumer spending. That's literally $860 billion. And this is just the beginning. By 2035, this number will hit 2 trillion, meaning every second rupee spent in India will come from a Gen Z. So unlike previous generations who focused more on building assets or long-term security, Gen Z believes in living for the day. This means that as more and more Gen Zs get financially independent, we'll see more and more expenditure on the aspirational wants. And that is why India's consumer economy is shifting so fast. And obviously, there have been some interesting tailwinds from the government side too, as government has made the income up to 12 lakh tax-free. This will be a game changer because most of the Gen Zs earn between a bracket of 8 to 12 lakh per annum. Awesome. So now you know what is actually happening behind the Valentine's economy and how Gen Z is actually fueling the economy more and more. That said, we hope you have a great Valentine's Day and we hope you find a right match for you. If you learned something from this video, do let us know in the comments. And if you like this episode, you would definitely love the last episode we did on how Amul is disrupting India's 16,000 crore protein category. I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.